Hi everyone, it's Lisa Mears. Thank you for joining me today. In today's video, I'm going to be making two cards using a brand new stencil from Simon Says Stamp. It is the Clover Wreath stencil. This is part of their brand new release called Good Luck Charm. Here's a look at the stencil. It is a large stencil. It measures 6 by 6 inches. So you can create a square card with this, or you can cut it down to fit on the front of a smaller card front, and that's what I'm going to be doing today, using this stencil on an A2 size card. So what I've done is I cut a piece of Bristol smooth cardstock, and it's roughly 6 by 6 inches, the same size as the stencil, and I just use my magnets to hold it down there on my mat. And I'm going to be coloring this up in some of my green inks. And the inks that I'm going to be using are Cracked Pistachio and Lucky Clover. So right now I'm coloring up all of the openings on this wreath with my Cracked Pistachio Distress Oxide ink. And then I'm going to come in with the Lucky Clover, which is a little bit darker, and just add some dark shadows just to the bottoms of all of those petals. Now you can see that all of the petals on here are shaped like hearts, and this does look like an actual four-leaf clover, which would be perfect for St. Patrick's Day, but you can actually use this any time of year. I am coloring it up green for St. Patrick's Day coming up, but you're going to see in my next card where I add some different colors, and I'm going to make it a nice, bright, and happy birthday card. But you can also use this, think about for Christmas. If you just add some Christmas colors to this, this would be perfect for Christmas as well. So here I'm just coming back in with the initial ink pad, the Cracked Pistachio, and just blending that dark and light ink one more time so there aren't any rough edges. I cut my panel down to 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and then I'm just stamping with some Versamark ink the sentiment. The sentiment I'm using says, "You are truly amazing," and this is from Pink and Main's Dearest Friend stamp set. I'm sprinkling some gold embossing powder over the top. I'm tapping off the excess, and then I'm going to use my heat tool and I will heat set this. I cut a piece of the Spellbinders. It's the gold mirror cardstock, and I cut it down to the size of the front of an A2 size card base, so it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I'm just gluing it on the front of the card base. I did cut the center out just so that I can save that center piece of gold cardstock. And then I'm going to add my card layer right to the top of this card base. To finish up this card, I'm just adding some Nuvo Drops to the round dots there that are on the wreath. And I'm going to go through the entire wreath and just add those Nuvo Drops for some added dimension. And that will complete my first card. So moving on to my second card, I'm doing the same thing I started with the previous card, taking a piece of Bristol smooth cardstock cut down to roughly 6 by 6, and I'm going to go ahead and use some brighter color inks. I'm going to be using some pinks, some purples, and some greens, and this time I have the Picked Raspberry Distress Oxide ink. Since I don't want to cover the entire stencil with this pink ink, I'm using a detailed blending tool. It's small enough so that it's not going to go past the part of the stencil that I'm trying to ink blend. So I just want to ink blend or add the ink to the 4-leaf clovers. I don't want this pink ink to get on the stem or the smaller 4-leaf clovers, just the larger ones. So you can see how small the tip of that blending brush is, and it's the perfect size to just get into these smaller sections without overlapping your inks. So once I ink up all of the larger 4-leaf clovers, I will move on to the purples, and I'm going to color all of the smaller 4-leaf clovers in the Wilted Violet Distress ink. And once all of those smaller 4-leaf clovers are inked up, I'll then come back in with my Cracked Pistachio, which is the green. I will color in all of the leaves and the stems with that Cracked Pistachio ink. Next, I'm going to come in with squeezed lemonade and fill in all of the little circles. So you can see all of these pretty vibrant colors, perfect for spring. Next, I'm taking a sentiment from the Simon Says Stamps Beautiful Bouquet stamp set. This sentiment says happy birthday, and I'm just positioning it there in the center of the wreath. I'm going to go ahead and stamp this down with some black ink. Then I'm going to take a rectangular die and position it on that background so that it is centered in the middle of that wreath. And I'll run that through the die cut machine, and now I have my card layer for my A2 size card. I'm going to go ahead and add some glue and add that to a hot pink A2 size card base. I love how that pink in the card base matches the pink in that Clover Wreath. And then I'm going to finish this up by adding some silver gems, some larger ones to the center of all of the pink clovers, and then adding a few in the white area as well. And that will complete this card. I just love how easy and quick stencils can be for creating quick and easy cards. Again, a link to the stencil and all products will be down in the description box below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe for more card making inspiration. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye-bye.